There are moments in life when the weight of decisions can't be measured. When the consequences of what you say, what you do, and what you believe have the power to alter the course of your future. And we all find ourselves at those crossroads. It's not always about the big moments. Sometimes it's the little choices, the things we don't even realize that define us. They say character is built in those silent hours, in those moments when no one is watching, when the pressure is low and the stakes seem irrelevant. That's when your true self emerges. It's the choices you make when there's no one around to pat you on the back, to tell you you're doing the right thing. It's when you look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I doing the best I can? Am I staying true to who I am? Now, I could stand here and talk to you about the victories, the things we all see as the measures of success. The cars, the houses, the titles we wear like armor, pretending they define us. But that's not the truth. Those things don't define us. They can't. Success is not about what you have, but about who you are when the lights go out and the world stops applauding. Let me tell you something. Life is tough. I know it. You know it. We all know it. It's a fight to rise above the noise, to stay grounded when the world is trying to pull you in 1,000 different directions. You'll have your share of disappointments, your share of failures, and when you fail, the temptation will be to stop. The temptation will be to quit. But here's the thing, failure is not the end. Failure is part of the process. It's what you do after you fall that matters. The road to success is not a straight line, it's a winding, twisted path filled with obstacles, filled with setbacks, filled with days when you wonder if it's all worth it. You want to know the truth? The truth is, we're all fighting something. We're all facing battles no one else sees. You can be standing in a room full of people, smiling, laughing, but deep inside, you're battling your own demons. You're wrestling with doubts, fears, insecurities. The question is, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to let it break you? Or are you going to rise above it? I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's all sunshine and rainbows. There will be days when you feel like you're drowning, when every move you make feels like it's the wrong one. But I'll tell you this, on those days, when you're standing in the storm, wondering if it's worth it, that's when you have to dig deep. That's when you have to find the courage to keep going, even when the world is telling you to stop. Because it's not the storm that defines you, it's how you face it. It's how you stand up after you fall. It's how you fight when everything inside you is screaming to quit. And let's be honest, sometimes the biggest fight is not with the world around you. It's with yourself. It's with the voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, that tells you you'll never make it, that tells you to give up before you even try. That voice, that's the enemy. That's the one you've got to defeat. And I'll tell you this, you will defeat it. You will silence that voice because you have something inside you that the world can't take away. You have a spirit. You have resilience. You have strength that doesn't come from your circumstances, but from who you are at your core. And when you tap into that, when you find that, nothing will stop you. Now, I'm not saying you should ignore the reality of the challenges you face. Life's hard. It's brutal. It will throw punches at you. But the question is, how are you going to respond? Are you going to let life knock you down and keep you down? Or are you going to rise up, dust yourself off, and keep pushing forward? I've seen it too many times. People hit a roadblock and they quit. They think they can't go any further. They let one setback define the rest of their journey. But let me tell you something, one setback is not your destiny. One failure is not your future. It's what you do after that moment that matters. It's what you do when you're faced with adversity, when you're faced with the unknown. That defines who you are. Are you going to fold, or are you going to fight? Here's the thing you need to understand, success is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the odds are against you. It's about getting knocked down and getting back up. It's about finding a way when the world says it's impossible. It's about being resilient in the face of adversity. You've heard people say that the road to success is paved with failure. And while that sounds good in theory, it's not just about failing and moving on. It's about learning from those failures. It's about taking the lessons, the pain, the struggle, and using it to fuel your next step. Failure doesn't define you unless you let it. If you allow it to be the end of your story, then it is. But if you use it to fuel your determination, to push you forward, then it becomes a stepping stone to greatness. The journey isn't easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it is. If you want an easy life, then this isn't for you. But if you're willing to work, if you're willing to struggle, if you're willing to fight for what you want, then you can have anything you want. You have the power to shape your own destiny. The power is in your hands. You just have to decide what you're going to do with it. I've seen too many people sell themselves short. Too many people listen to the doubters, to the haters, to the people who tell them they can't do it. And I'll tell you this, don't listen to them. The only voice that matters is the one inside you. The only person who can determine your future is you. And if you believe in yourself, if you trust in your abilities, if you have the courage to keep going, then you can overcome anything. I want you to remember this: you are capable of more than you think. You have more strength, more potential, more resilience than you've ever realized. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't achieve your dreams. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not good enough. You are good enough. You are worthy. And you are capable of greatness. But you have to believe it. You have to walk in it. You have to take those steps one at a time toward the person you are meant to become. It won't happen overnight. It won't happen easily. But every step you take brings you closer to your goals. Every effort, every moment of struggle, every sacrifice brings you closer to the life you want to create. And I'll tell you this, you are worth the fight. Your dreams are worth the fight. Your future is worth the fight. So never give up. Keep going. Keep fighting. Keep pushing. And no matter what, never, ever stop believing in yourself. You've got this. There are moments in life when adversity feels like an immovable mountain, when the weight of the world seems to fall upon your shoulders and you wonder if you have the strength to carry on. We all face moments like that. It's not a question of if we'll encounter challenges, but when life by its very nature is a constant flow of ups and downs. Some of these moments will test your willpower, your resolve, and your very sense of who you are. But it's in these moments of struggle that we discover what we're truly made of. It's not the easy times that shape us, but the difficult, painful, and challenging moments that reveal the depth of our character and the strength of our resilience. Resilience, at its core, is the ability to recover from adversity, to bounce back when life knocks you down. But it's more than just bouncing back. It's about growing through the struggle. It's about finding strength in weakness, learning from failure, and emerging from hardship as a better, stronger version of yourself. Resilience doesn't just mean surviving, it means thriving in the face of hardship. It means understanding that challenges are not roadblocks but opportunities for growth. When you find yourself facing adversity, the first instinct is often to ask, why me? It's easy to fall into a mindset of victimhood when things seem unfair, when life throws curveballs at you that you never saw coming. You might find yourself feeling overwhelmed, paralyzed by fear or self-doubt, questioning your ability to move forward. And that's okay. It's natural to feel that way when the ground beneath your feet seems to crumble. But here's where resilience comes in. Resilience isn't about avoiding or denying those feelings. It's about accepting them, sitting with them, and then deciding to take the next step forward, no matter how hard it seems. The thing about resilience is that it doesn't come from a place of external strength. It doesn't come from having the perfect circumstances or a life free from challenges. It comes from within. It comes from the belief that no matter what happens, you have the ability to navigate through the storm, to find a way to move forward, even when the path is unclear. It comes from a deep understanding that the struggles you face are not permanent, and that you are stronger than you think. There is power in the very act of facing adversity head-on. When you face challenges, when you look your fears in the eye and choose to move forward anyway, you begin to understand just how much control you have over your life. Adversity doesn't define you unless you allow it to. It's not what happens to you that matters, it's how you respond to what happens. Resilience is a choice. It's a choice to keep moving forward, to not let your circumstances dictate your future. It's a choice to refuse to be broken, even when the weight of the world feels unbearable. Think about the people who inspire you, the ones you admire for their strength and perseverance. More often than not, their stories are not filled with endless triumphs, but with stories of struggle and hardship. They didn't succeed because life was easy. They succeeded because despite the challenges, they kept pushing forward. They learned to see failure not as the end, but as a lesson. They learned to take setbacks not as a sign to quit, but as an opportunity to grow. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is the ability to adapt. Life rarely goes according to plan. You may set out with one vision for your life, only to find that the path you're walking on is filled with detours and roadblocks. But resilience is about being able to pivot, to change direction when necessary, and to remain open to new possibilities. It's about embracing change rather than resisting it, about recognizing that life's twists and turns are not obstacles but stepping stones to something greater. When you're resilient, you don't allow yourself to become trapped by a single vision of how things should be. You remain flexible, adaptable, and ready to take on whatever challenges come your way. One of the key aspects of resilience is mental toughness, the ability to keep going even when you don't feel like it, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Mental toughness is what allows you to keep moving when everything inside you wants to quit. It's the inner strength that keeps you on track, even when the road is tough and the finish line seems impossibly far away. But mental toughness is not something you're born with, it's something you build. It's something you cultivate over time through practice, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to yourself and your goals. It's about getting up every time you fall, learning from each failure, and using those lessons to become stronger and more capable. Adversity also has a way of revealing who you really are. When life is smooth and everything is going well, it's easy to maintain a sense of confidence. But when you face hardship, when your back is against the wall, that's when you see what you're made of. It's in those moments that you have a choice. You can either shrink back in fear and self-doubt, or you can rise to the occasion. It's in those moments that you find your true strength. And that strength, once discovered, is unshakable. Once you understand that you can survive even the worst storms, nothing will ever seem quite as intimidating again. But resilience is not just about toughness. It's also about flexibility and emotional strength. It's about learning to manage your emotions in difficult situations, to not let fear, anger, or frustration take control. When faced with adversity, it's easy to let negative emotions overwhelm you. But resilient people understand that emotions are temporary and that they don't have to define your actions. They know how to stay calm in the face of pressure, how to keep a level head when everything around them seems chaotic. They understand that while they can't control the external events in their lives, they can control how they react to those events. In fact, emotional resilience is one of the most critical elements of overcoming adversity. It's what allows you to stay grounded, even when life is trying to pull you in a million different directions. It's the ability to feel the pain, the frustration, and the fear without letting it consume you. It's the ability to look at your circumstances, acknowledge your emotions, and then choose to move forward with determination and purpose. Resilience is also about perspective. When you're in the midst of a struggle, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. You might get bogged down by the details, focusing on how hard things are in the moment. But resilience allows you to zoom out and see the broader context of your life. It helps you recognize that no single challenge defines you, and that this moment, no matter how difficult, is just one chapter in a much bigger story. Resilient people understand that adversity is temporary, and that every challenge, no matter how tough, is an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. Another important part of resilience is the ability to seek support when needed. While resilience is often about inner strength, it's also about knowing when to ask for help. No one can do everything alone, and even the most resilient people need a support system. Whether it's friends, family, mentors, or even a therapist, seeking support during tough times is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It's a recognition that you don't have to carry the burden alone. Resilience is about knowing your limits, acknowledging your vulnerabilities, and having the humility to reach out when you need help. The strongest people are often the ones who are not afraid to lean on others when necessary. Adversity, though painful, has the potential to transform us in ways we never expected. It forces us to confront our weaknesses, to test our limits, and to reevaluate our priorities. It teaches us lessons we couldn't learn any other way. And if we allow it, adversity can become a catalyst for growth, a powerful force that propels us forward and shapes us into the people we are meant to be. Persistence is one of the most powerful forces that we can harness in our lives. It is the ability to keep going, to keep striving, even when the journey is long, arduous, and filled with obstacles. In a world that constantly seeks instant results and immediate gratification, the true power of persistence lies in its quiet, unwavering nature. Persistence doesn't make a loud entrance, nor does it demand attention. It is often the unsung hero behind the most incredible achievements, standing tall in the face of adversity and moving forward, even when success seems distant. It is the force that separates those who reach their goals from those who abandon them along the way. When we think about persistence, we often think about the great stories of success, the ones where the protagonist overcomes all odds and achieves their dreams. But what we often overlook is that these successes did not happen overnight. Behind every triumph is a story of struggle, of failure, of moments when everything seemed like it would fall apart. And yet, it is persistence that carries you through those moments. It is persistence that ensures that you don't give up when giving up would be the easiest thing to do. There is a misconception that success is something that happens effortlessly to those who are naturally gifted, but the truth is far from that. Success is often the result of persistent effort over a long period of time. It's about doing the work even when it feels like no progress is being made. It's about showing up every single day, putting in the effort, and staying focused on the end goal. Persistence is the key to overcoming the inevitable challenges that come with any worthwhile pursuit. It's the ability to keep going when every part of you is telling you to stop. But persistence doesn't just mean showing up. It means being willing to adapt and adjust along the way. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. We have an idea of how things should unfold, and when the reality doesn't match that vision, it's easy to feel defeated. But persistence doesn't mean rigidly holding on to a single path when things aren't working. It means remaining committed to the goal, but being flexible about how you get there. The journey to success is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, there will be detours, and there will be moments of frustration. Persistence is about having the resilience to keep moving forward, even when the route you expected to take is blocked, and to find new ways of progressing when old methods no longer serve. One of the most important things about persistence is that it teaches you how to overcome failure. Failure is a part of life, and no one who has ever achieved anything of significance has done so without encountering setbacks. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to how they handle failure. Persistent individuals understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth or ability. It is simply a temporary obstacle, a lesson to be learned, and a step closer to success. Every time they fail, they pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and try again. The ability to fail and keep going is what makes persistence so powerful. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about embracing it, learning from it, and moving forward with even greater determination. Failure has a way of revealing what we are truly made of. It's in the face of failure that our true character is tested. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well, but persistence is about staying motivated when the going gets tough. It's about having the inner strength to keep moving when the results are not immediate and when doubt starts to creep in. It's about silencing the negative self-talk, pushing past the moments of doubt, and reminding yourself that the road to success is not a straight line. Every setback, every failure is just one more lesson that gets you closer to where you want to be. And those lessons, hard as they may be, are the building blocks of your success. Persistent people understand that there is no such thing as overnight success. The world loves stories of people who seem to have achieved their dreams with little effort or time. But the reality is that most success stories are decades in the making. The great achievements that we admire today are the result of years of dedication, hard work, and above all, persistence. Think of the athletes who spend hours each day training, or the entrepreneurs who fail multiple times before they finally strike gold. The key to their success was not talent alone, it was their unwavering persistence to keep going, even when they faced repeated failures. Their ability to show up and continue working toward their goal, despite all the odds, is what set them apart. But persistence also requires patience. It's not enough to just keep going without seeing results. You have to trust the process, even when it feels like nothing is happening. It's easy to become disheartened when you don't see immediate progress, but success is often slow and gradual. The smallest efforts, when compounded over time, lead to monumental results. Think about planting a seed. It takes time for that seed to grow into a strong tree. The process is invisible to the naked eye, but underneath the surface, roots are growing and the plant is slowly developing. Success is much the same. The efforts you put in today may not show immediate results, but they are laying the foundation for future growth. Persistence is about staying the course even when the rewards seem far off. It's about understanding that the efforts you make today will pay off in the long run. There is also a sense of discipline that comes with persistence. The ability to continue working, even when motivation fades, is one of the hallmarks of persistence. Motivation is fleeting. There are days when you'll feel on top of the world, ready to tackle any challenge. But there will also be days when you feel exhausted, uninspired, and ready to give up. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward on those days. It's about doing the work even when you don't feel like it. It's about staying committed to your goals, even when the excitement and passion you once felt seem to have disappeared. Persistence requires discipline to keep pushing forward, regardless of your mood or circumstances. It's about forming habits that move you closer to your goals, one small step at a time, and sticking to them even when it feels difficult. Another powerful aspect of persistence is its ability to build confidence. Every time you push through a challenge, overcome an obstacle, or keep going despite the odds, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you initially believed. Confidence comes from the repeated act of persevering. As you continue to work toward your goals, you start to trust in your own abilities. You begin to realize that you have the strength, the resilience, and the determination to achieve whatever you set your mind to. With every step you take, no matter how small, your confidence grows. And that confidence becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. Each success, no matter how minor, adds fuel to your persistence, and your persistence leads to even greater achievements. Persistence is also deeply tied to our sense of purpose. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, when you understand why you are working toward a goal, it becomes much easier to stay persistent. The pain and struggle of the journey feel more meaningful when you have a deep connection to the end result. Purpose gives you the strength to endure the hard times and the clarity to stay focused on what matters most. Without purpose, it's easy to get distracted, to lose sight of why you started in the first place. But when you are deeply connected to your goals, persistence becomes not just an action, but a way of life. It becomes the driving force that keeps you moving, even when things get difficult. But persistence also requires humility. It requires the ability to acknowledge when things aren't working and to adjust your approach. It's not about blindly continuing down a path that's clearly not leading anywhere. Persistence doesn't mean stubbornness. It means having the wisdom to recognize when a new approach is necessary and the courage to try again, even when you feel like you've already given everything. It's about being willing to learn, to grow, and to adapt in the face of challenges. Persistent people are not afraid to ask for help, to seek advice, or to change course when necessary. They are not afraid to fail, and they are not afraid to admit that they don't have all the answers. They are persistent because they are willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. At the heart of persistence is a deep belief in the possibility of success. You must believe that what you are striving for is achievable, and that belief is what fuels your persistence. When you believe that your goals are within reach, when you trust in your ability to get there, you will find the strength to push forward, even when the road seems endless. That belief is what gives persistence its power. Without belief, persistence is hollow. It's just the act of going through the motions without any real direction. But when you truly believe in your potential, when you trust that your hard work will pay off, that belief becomes the engine that drives you to keep going. Self-belief and inner strength are two of the most powerful assets a person can possess. They form the foundation of not only achieving great success, but also maintaining a sense of peace and fulfillment throughout life. The strength to move forward in life, to pursue dreams, to overcome obstacles, and to be true to oneself comes from within. It is not something that can be given to you by external validation or circumstances, but rather it is something you must cultivate within yourself. Self-belief and inner strength are not qualities that you are born with. They are the results of how you choose to think, act, and respond to challenges that life inevitably presents. To begin with, self-belief is the conviction that you are capable of achieving your goals, regardless of the obstacles that may stand in your way. It is the unwavering confidence that your skills, knowledge, and determination are enough to overcome any challenges and fulfill your dreams. This belief is not based on ego or arrogance. It is rooted in an understanding of your own value and the unique qualities that you bring to the world. Self-belief means trusting that you can figure things out, even when the path ahead is unclear, and trusting in your ability to learn and adapt as you move forward. It is the knowledge that you can handle whatever life throws your way, even if it seems insurmountable at the time. Unfortunately, self-belief is often one of the hardest things to cultivate, especially in a world that constantly compares us to others. From a young age, we are taught to measure our worth against external standards. Society often tells us what we should look like, what success should look like, and how we should live our lives. With so many expectations and comparisons, it is easy to lose sight of who we truly are and to question our own abilities. The key to developing self-belief is to break free from these external measures and to find your worth within yourself. It's about recognizing that your value is not determined by the opinions of others or by what you have achieved in the past, but by who you are at your core. One of the most powerful ways to develop self-belief is through consistent action. When you take action toward your goals, even small steps, you build confidence in your abilities. Every time you take a step forward, even if it feels insignificant, you are reinforcing your belief in yourself. This is because every success, no matter how small, becomes evidence of your capability. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable of succeeding. The key is to not let fear or doubt stop you from taking action. You may not have all the answers and things may not go as planned, but every step you take is an investment in your self-belief. The more you act, the more you realize that even in the face of uncertainty, you can handle whatever comes your way. On the other hand, inner strength is the mental, emotional, and spiritual fortitude that allows you to withstand life's challenges without losing your sense of self. Inner strength is what keeps you grounded when the world around you seems to be falling apart. It is the deep well of resilience that allows you to endure hardship, bounce back from setbacks, and stay focused on what truly matters. While self-belief is about trusting your ability to succeed, inner strength is about trusting your ability to endure, to persevere, and to rise after every fall. It's about not allowing external circumstances or setbacks to dictate your mood, your actions, or your sense of self-worth. In times of difficulty, it is easy to feel like everything is spiraling out of control. Challenges may arise that make you question your worth or ability to cope. It's in these moments that your inner strength will be most tested. And while you cannot always control what happens to you, you can control how you respond to what happens. Inner strength is about choosing not to give up, even when things seem impossible. It's about looking at a difficult situation and deciding that you will continue to fight, to keep moving forward no matter how tough things get. It is the courage to stand firm in the face of adversity, to refuse to be overwhelmed by fear, doubt, or hardship, and to maintain your focus on what is important. One important aspect of inner strength is emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your emotions, particularly in times of stress. When life challenges you, your emotions can easily take control. You may feel frustrated, angry, sad, or fearful, and those emotions can cloud your judgment and decision-making. Inner strength requires you to be aware of your emotions, to acknowledge them without letting them define your actions. It's about choosing to respond calmly and thoughtfully, even in difficult situations. When you are emotionally strong, you do not allow your emotions to dictate your behavior. Instead, you recognize that emotions are temporary and that they do not have to control you. You give yourself the space to feel what you're feeling, but choose not to let those feelings control your actions or define your experience. In addition, inner strength requires you to develop a strong sense of purpose. When you are connected to your purpose, you have a deeper understanding of why you do what you do. This connection provides a powerful source of motivation and resilience, especially in difficult times. When you know why you are pursuing your goals and why you are making the sacrifices required to reach them, it becomes easier to summon the inner strength needed to push through challenges. Purpose gives you the clarity to see beyond temporary setbacks and to stay focused on the bigger picture. It reminds you that your journey is bigger than any single moment of failure or disappointment. With purpose comes the strength to endure, to keep going even when the road gets rough. One of the most important ways to build inner strength is through self-reflection and self-awareness. When you take the time to truly understand yourself, your values, your fears, your strengths, and your weaknesses, you are better equipped to handle life's challenges. Self-awareness allows you to recognize when you are being triggered by emotions, when you are reacting out of fear or insecurity, and when you need to take a step back and regain your balance. It gives you the clarity to make better decisions and the confidence to trust in your judgment. Inner strength is not about being perfect or never feeling doubt. It's about knowing yourself deeply enough to rise above those doubts when they arise and to keep moving forward in spite of them. Additionally, both self-belief and inner strength are cultivated through perseverance. Life is full of setbacks, and no one achieves their goals without encountering challenges. However, the ability to persist in the face of adversity is what makes all the difference. When you persist, you show yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Every time you rise after a fall, you build your belief in your own resilience. Every setback, every failure becomes an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to develop an even stronger sense of inner strength. It is through perseverance that you develop the confidence to keep going, to trust that no matter how difficult the journey may be, you have the strength to carry on. Building self-belief and inner strength also involves letting go of self-limiting beliefs and negative self-talk. Many people struggle with self-doubt, feeling as though they are not good enough, not capable enough, or not worthy of success. These beliefs often stem from past experiences, societal expectations, or comparisons to others. However, these negative beliefs are not facts, they are just thoughts, and they can be changed. The key is to challenge those limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. Instead of focusing on your perceived weaknesses, focus on your strengths. Instead of worrying about what could go wrong, focus on what you can control and what you have the power to change. When you start to believe in your own potential, you begin to unlock the limitless power within you. You begin to see that you are not defined by your past, your mistakes, or your shortcomings, but by your ability to grow, learn, and rise above them. Furthermore, both self-belief and inner strength are fueled by positive habits and self-care. When you take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally, you are strengthening your foundation. Self-belief and inner strength thrive when you are well-rested, well-nourished, and mentally clear. Regular exercise, meditation, mindfulness, and journaling are all powerful tools that can help you maintain the inner strength necessary to overcome challenges. When you feel good in your body and mind, you are more resilient and better able to navigate life's difficulties. Positive habits allow you to stay focused, to remain calm under pressure, and to keep your energy aligned with your goals. In the end, self-belief and inner strength are not destinations, but ongoing practices. They are qualities that need to be nurtured, developed, and maintained throughout your life. Each challenge you face, each obstacle you overcome, becomes a building block in the fortress of your self-belief and inner strength. By continuously striving to believe in yourself, to trust your abilities, and to rise above life's challenges, you develop an unshakable foundation that will carry you through anything life throws your way. Self-belief and inner strength are not just about achieving your goals, they are about realizing your full potential, finding peace and purpose within yourself, and embracing the journey of life with confidence and resilience. Taking ownership of your future is one of the most profound and empowering decisions you can make in life. It means acknowledging that you, and you alone, hold the key to shaping your destiny. It is the realization that your choices, your actions, and your mindset are the driving forces behind the life you want to create. This concept challenges us to move beyond external circumstances, beyond blaming others or complaining about the things we cannot control, and instead take full responsibility for the direction in which our lives are headed. In the process, it requires honesty, accountability, and the willingness to step into the unknown with courage and determination. When you take ownership of your future, you stop waiting for life to happen to you. You understand that you are not a passive participant in your own existence, but an active creator of your path. This shift in mindset is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It means you stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances and start seeing yourself as someone capable of overcoming any challenges and rising to any occasion. Taking ownership empowers you to take control of your choices, your responses, and your actions. It places you in the driver's seat of your own life, allowing you to chart your course with confidence, purpose, and clarity. The first step in taking ownership of your future is to accept responsibility for where you currently are. This is not about self-blame or regret, rather, it's about accepting the fact that you have made choices, whether consciously or unconsciously, that have led you to this point. Your present reality is a reflection of your past decisions, actions, and thoughts. While many factors are outside of your control, it's important to recognize that you have the power to change your future by the way you respond to your present situation. This realization can be uncomfortable at first, as it requires you to let go of excuses and take full accountability. But once you embrace this truth, you open the door to infinite possibilities for growth, change, and transformation. Taking ownership means that you stop waiting for the perfect time or the right circumstances. It means you recognize that there will never be a perfect moment to take action. Life will always be full of challenges, obstacles, and uncertainties. But instead of using these as reasons to delay or procrastinate, you learn to work within these limitations and find ways to move forward. By taking ownership, you stop looking for external validation or approval and instead focus on your own internal compass. You trust that you have the strength and resilience to navigate through whatever comes your way, knowing that every step you take is a step closer to your goals. A critical part of taking ownership of your future is setting clear and actionable goals. Without goals, you may find yourself drifting aimlessly, unsure of what direction to take. Goals give you a sense of purpose and provide you with a roadmap to follow. They serve as a constant reminder of what you are working toward and help you stay focused when distractions arise. The process of setting goals requires self-reflection. It involves asking yourself, what do I truly want from life? What are my deepest desires, and how can I turn them into tangible outcomes once you've established your goals? Taking ownership means committing to the work necessary to achieve them. It's about consistency, perseverance, and a refusal to be swayed by setbacks or challenges. Every small action you take in pursuit of your goals is an act of ownership. But goals alone are not enough. Taking ownership also means developing the discipline and mindset to see those goals through, even when the going gets tough. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, or when the results are not immediately visible. Developing discipline takes time and effort, and it often involves pushing past discomfort, fear, and self-doubt. However, when you cultivate discipline, you build momentum. It becomes easier to keep moving forward, even when motivation fluctuates or when you encounter obstacles. Discipline is about creating habits that align with your long-term vision, even when short-term gratification is more tempting. It's about creating a routine that supports your growth and consistently taking steps in the direction of your future. At the same time, taking ownership of your future involves developing resilience. Life is unpredictable, and even the best laid plans can be disrupted. There will be moments of failure, disappointment, and loss. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from those challenges and keep going. It's about viewing setbacks as temporary and as opportunities for growth, rather than as permanent roadblocks. When you take ownership of your future, you learn not to take failure personally. Instead, you embrace it as a natural part of the process and use it as a stepping stone toward improvement. Resilience gives you the strength to continue moving forward, even when things don't go according to plan. It's the ability to get back up every time life knocks you down, to maintain hope and optimism, and to keep striving for what you want, regardless of how many times you've fallen. Another crucial aspect of taking ownership is developing a mindset of growth. A fixed mindset, which believes that your abilities are set and unchangeable, can limit your potential. When you believe that you can't grow or change, you limit your ability to take ownership of your future. On the other hand, a growth mindset allows you to embrace challenges, learn from feedback, and view failure as a necessary part of the journey. People with a growth mindset understand that their potential is not limited by their current circumstances, but rather by their willingness to learn, adapt, and improve. By adopting a growth mindset, you open yourself to endless possibilities for development and growth. It becomes easier to take risks, try new things, and pursue goals that might have once seemed out of reach. Taking ownership also involves managing your time wisely. Time is one of our most valuable resources, and how we use it directly impacts our ability to shape our future. Time management is not about being busy all the time, it's about being intentional with how you spend your time. It's about prioritizing the things that align with your goals and eliminating distractions or time wasters that do not serve your long-term vision. When you take ownership of your future, you are mindful of how you invest your time. You make conscious decisions about where to focus your energy and ensure that your daily actions align with your greater aspirations. This often means saying no to things that might seem important in the short term, but are ultimately hindering your long-term success. Equally important in taking ownership of your future is taking responsibility for your mindset. The thoughts you believe about yourself and the world around you have a powerful influence on your actions and outcomes. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs can hold you back and prevent you from taking the necessary steps toward your goals. On the other hand, a positive, empowered mindset can propel you forward and help you overcome even the most challenging obstacles. Taking ownership means recognizing when negative thoughts are creeping in and choosing to replace them with thoughts that empower you. It's about cultivating a mindset of possibility, believing that you have the ability to create the future you want, and taking proactive steps toward making it happen. An essential part of taking ownership of your future is surrounding yourself with people who support your vision and encourage your growth. While you are ultimately responsible for your own journey, the people you surround yourself with can significantly impact your ability to succeed. It's important to surround yourself with individuals who inspire you, challenge you to be your best, and offer guidance when needed. At the same time, you must be mindful of the relationships that drain you or hold you back. When you take ownership of your future, you choose to surround yourself with people who uplift you and help you stay on track with your goals. Taking ownership of your future also involves letting go of the fear of failure. Many people hold themselves back from pursuing their dreams because they are afraid of failing. However, failure is not the end, it is simply a part of the process. Fear of failure can paralyze you and prevent you from taking action. But when you take ownership of your future, you recognize that failure is not something to fear, it is something to learn from. It is a stepping stone toward success, and each failure brings you closer to the right path. By reframing failure as a valuable learning experience, you can embrace it as part of the journey and use it as motivation to keep moving forward. Furthermore, taking ownership of your future requires self-compassion. It's important to recognize that you are not perfect and that you will make mistakes along the way. Being hard on yourself when you slip up or fall short of your goals can hinder your progress. Instead, practice self-compassion by acknowledging your mistakes, learning from them, and moving forward without judgment. When you are kind to yourself, you cultivate the emotional resilience necessary to keep going, even when things don't go as planned. Ultimately, taking ownership of your future is about reclaiming your power. It's about choosing to live your life on your own terms and making decisions that reflect your values, goals, and desires. It is a lifelong commitment to taking responsibility for your actions and decisions, believing in your own potential, and continuously working toward the life you want to create. By taking ownership, you realize that you have the power to shape your future, and that, no matter what life presents, you have the strength and determination to navigate your path.